Hi, good morning, good afternoon, yes, good evening. Depending on your time zone where which you're connecting with me live this beautiful Monday morning right here in Nigeria. First, I want to thank God Almighty for the privilege and the grace He has given to us to see today. And secondly, I want to appreciate each and every one of you who take time to follow us on our piece every time we have an update for you. This morning, I have a burning desire to address a particular issue, and this particular issue deals with Nigerians in diaspora. This particular issue deals with Nigerians in diaspora. So, if you're a Nigerian and you've been living abroad for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and some even 30 years, then this piece is for you. And I also think that it would be nice that you also avail your friends, your family, any member of yours who you know you owe to high esteem who lives in diaspora as well, who have been suffering from one landed property or the other, and then this piece is for you. Sit down quietly as we take ourselves on this stroll. I have seen people who actually traveled abroad in less than 2-3 years. They built 5-bedroom duplex. In less than 2-3 years, they built 5-bedroom duplex. And I've also seen people who have been living abroad for the past 20 years and they do not have 100 by 100. They do not have 50 by 50. They do not have 50 by 100. And I begin to ask questions. Is it that these people who have been living abroad for years, over 5 years, is it that they do not want to come back home to actually invest in one landed property or the other? Then I realize that the answer is a no. These guys actually want to come back home, invest in one property or the other. But because of frustration from thefts, people who pose as an agent, people who pose as an engineer, and at the end of the day, they squander the money that has been given to them by the supposed client. Also, we have the issue of families. Family members, it could be your brother, it could be your sister, it could be your father, it could be your mother, it could even be your wife, it could even be your husband. That you actually sent money to, oh, daddy, please help me buy 100 by 100. And you send the money to them, the 100 by 100 you will not see, the money you will not see. I've addressed an issue where a twin sister, the other sister was abroad and he was sending money to our own twin sister to build for her for 14 years. The house never passed DPC for 14 years and she has been sending money. Show me what you have been building becomes a problem. I know all these are a major problem, especially for diasporans. And I begin to ask questions. What's the way forward? What do we do? What's the way forward? What do we do? I understand your pain. How that you have been jilted 10 million naira, you have been jilted 20 million naira, some 50 million naira. And you're like, I have nothing to do in that country anymore. If my family members can do this to me, if an engineer, a supposed engineer can do this to me, then what's the need going? After all, there's insecurity problem in the country. After all, there's inflation rate in the country. Then what are we going to? I beg, make I just save my money for my account here. That's not correct. It is your duty to develop your community. Either we take it or we leave it. Nigeria is one of the best places to invest in. Either we take it or we leave it. Why? This is because on a daily basis, we are growing in our population. And as far as we are growing in our population, that means there is a demand for any targeted market. And this is why this morning I'm unveiling to us what I tag a cluster neighbor. A cluster neighbor. I understand that most times many of us want to own our own 100 by 100. Now me just get it 100 by 100. Make I just fence some. Now me just get this 50 by 100. Make I just fence some. Now me get this 200 by 200. Make I just fence up. I understand that. But you also know that based on your exposure, you live abroad. How many persons own 100 by 100 abroad? How many persons own 50 by 100 abroad? How many persons? How many persons have this big compound? This is where we talk about land management. Maximizing your land to its fullest. So I realize that most times in Nigeria, we waste land a lot. We waste land a lot. And so I am now saying that, can we have a group of people who can come together? For example, 4 people come together to buy 3 plots, for example. 4 people come together to buy 3 plots, and you divide each plot, let's say 60 by 100 or 55 by 100, depending as the case may be. And the essence of doing this is so that we can have an inter-road in between the plots, so that we can also have a security post right inside this community. It's called cluster neighbor, where 4 people can. So if, for example, one plot is sold for 2 million naira, for example, now 3 plots is sold for 6 million naira. Now the 4 of you coming together to buy those 3 plots, that's about 1.5 million naira each. Instead of you alone now taking your money to go and buy your own 100 by 100. Now, these cluster neighbors will help us fight the issue of property theft. Why? Do you know why? Because immediately this land is bought, you have 500,000 naira each. So imagine that the 4 of you bringing your 500,000 naira each, that's 2 million naira to fence the property. That property first has scaled through the first phase of property theft in Nigeria. And then the 4 of you can go back and say, okay, fine, let us go and relax and shoot back in the next 1 year or in the next 2 years, and we'll now decide when we'll start building. So in the next 2 years, what should be happening on that piece of land? That is where the likes of myself come in. So we can help you manage that property for the next 2 years that you will not be building. Now, you know that in these next 2 years, I want to save up funds. I want to save, for example, whatever you want to build, maybe it will probably cost, let's say 25 million or 30 million naira, as the case may be. For these 2 years, you can save up at least 50% or 75% of that money that you will spend building that project. Now you have saved up this money in the next 2 years. And note that as soon as they are executing the project, you are still working, and then you are getting money that can help you finish that project. And so you see that in the space of 3 years, you are done building your house. I tag this cluster neighbor, and I'm presenting these. You know yourself. You have been abroad for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. You have not still been able to complete your project. It's not because you don't have money. It's not because you're not working. It is because you have not gone through the right model. I'm presenting this to you this morning. You know yourself. Why not reach out to a group of people? 3, 4, 5. You can even do 10, as the case may be. And then all of you can come together, regroup. Oh, Victor, please, can we have access to this? I will locate that property for you. Buy the property, do the necessary documentation, and the property becomes yours. And then we can now plan for that. Okay, fine. And this development will start in the next 2 years. That means from now till the next 2 years, what should be happening in this property? What should be happening there? Then we can factor in based on the locality. We can factor in what should be happening on that piece of land. And then you know that from now to that next 2 years, you are making plan. Okay, fine, this is what I want to build. I want to build a 4-bedroom duplex, a 5-bedroom duplex with a BQ. You already decided this is the amount it will cost on estimate. And we can give projections. Oh, it will cost you 30 million naira, it will cost you 35 million naira, and then you check your schedule very well. In the next 2 years, yes, I can get 20 million naira in the next 2 years. And then you know what that means. This morning, I'm presenting this solution to you this morning. You cannot continue to be discouraged. You have to take a step. And for you to take a step, I am presenting a clustered neighbor project to you this morning. You know what to do. We have been a loyal project management company, and we have our histories right here on YouTube, and you can see much of our work right here on YouTube as well. Our contact is open for you to connect with us on 07063151558. I roll over again 07063151558. And if you're yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, please kindly hit the subscribe button right about now and subscribe to our channel. Thank you and God bless you. My name still remains Victor Olise.